Epstein estate agrees to $35 million settlement in victim class action. Gaza deaths exceed 75,000 in first 15 months, far above 49,000 reported. 56% women, children and elderly, Lancet study says. Bill Gates pulls out of India AI summit. Anger mounts over organizational lapses. Epstein estate agrees to $35 million settlement in victim class action. King Charles, brother Andrew released after arrest over misconduct relating to Epstein. The estate of Jeffrey Epstein has agreed to pay up to $35 million to settle a class action lawsuit brought by victims of the late financier, according to a court filing on Wednesday. The settlement was announced by Boye Schiller Flexner, which represents Epstein's victims. If approved by a federal judge in Manhattan, the deal will end a lawsuit filed in 2024 against Epstein's former personal lawyer Darren Indyke and former accountant Richard Kahn, who serve as co-executors of his estate. The lawsuit accused Indyke and Kahn of helping Epstein conceal his sex trafficking activities by setting up a complex network of companies and bank accounts. The advisors were also accused of enabling payments to victims and recruiters while benefiting financially themselves. In a statement, their lawyer said neither Indyke nor Kahn admitted wrongdoing and that the settlement was reached to bring final closure to claims against the estate. He added the agreement would provide a confidential path to compensation for victims who have not yet received payments. Epstein's estate has already paid out significant sums, including $121 million through a restitution fund and $49 million in additional settlements. More than 75,000 Palestinians were killed in the first 15 months of Israel's military assault on Gaza, far higher than the 49,000 deaths reported at the time by local health authorities, according to a new study published on Wednesday in The Lancet Global Health. The peer-reviewed study found that women, children, and the elderly accounted for more than 56% of violent deaths, broadly matching the demographic breakdown previously reported by Gaza's health ministry. Researchers described the findings as the first independent population-based mortality survey conducted in the Gaza Strip since the war began. The study surveyed 2,000 Palestinian households over 7 days, starting on December 30, 2024. The fieldwork was carried out by the Palestinian Center for Policy and Survey Research, led by veteran pollster Khalil Shikaki. The study's lead author was Michael Spaggott, a professor at Royal Holloway University of London. The researchers concluded that by January 5, 2025, around 3 to 4% of Gaza's population had been killed violently, with many additional deaths caused indirectly by the conflict through hunger, disease, and the collapse of healthcare. Bill Gates pulled out of India's AI Impact Summit just hours before his scheduled keynote on Wednesday, adding to mounting problems for a flagship event aimed at positioning India as a global leader in artificial intelligence governance. Gates' withdrawal, followed by a last-minute cancellation by Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, dealt a major blow to the summit's opening day. The event was billed as the first major AI forum hosted in the Global South. The Gates Foundation said Gates stepped back to ensure the focus remains on the summit's key priorities, reversing earlier assurances that he would attend. His absence comes weeks after newly released U.S. Justice Department emails showed past communication between Gates Foundation staff and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Gates has said meeting Epstein was a mistake and limited to philanthropy-related discussions. Despite the setbacks, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the summit alongside French President Emmanuel Macron and leading tech executives, including Sundar Pichai, Sam Altman, and Dario Amodei. The estate of Jeffrey Epstein has agreed to pay up to $35 million to settle a class action lawsuit, accusing 2 of his longtime advisors of helping facilitate his sex trafficking of young women and teenage girls, according to a court filing on Thursday. The settlement was announced by Boye Schiller Flexner, the law firm representing Epstein's victims, and was filed in federal court in Manhattan. If approved by a judge, it will end a lawsuit brought in 2024 against Epstein's former personal lawyer Darren Indyke and former accountant Richard Kahn, who serve as co-executors of the estate. The lawsuit alleged that the two men helped Jeffrey Epstein conceal his crimes by setting up complex corporate and banking structures that enabled abuse while protecting his finances. Lawyers for Indike & Khan said the settlement includes no admission of wrongdoing. Their attorney, Daniel H. Weiner, said they agreed to settle to achieve finality and avoid prolonged litigation. The deal would provide a confidential path to compensation for victims who have not already received payments from the estate. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, the younger brother of King Charles, was released from police custody on Thursday evening after being arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office, British police said. Mountbatten Windsor, who turned 66 on Thursday, was questioned throughout the day by Thames Valley Police over allegations that he passed confidential government documents to the late U.S. sex offender Jeffrey Epstein while serving as a UK trade envoy. Police said he was released under investigation, meaning inquiries are continuing but no charges have been filed. The arrest of a senior royal, eighth in line to the throne, is unprecedented in modern British history. A Reuters witness saw him leaving a police station in Aylsham, Eastern England, shortly after 7 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, where he appeared shaken as he departed in a car. In a statement, King Charles said he was informed of the arrest after it took place and stressed that the royal family would fully cooperate with authorities.